Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, whatever time you are listening to this video. Right, paper 3 HL examination technique came across lots of students who find this difficult. It's really not difficult, it's a skills exercise. And once you break it down, you can see this paper, to be honest with you, the potential to score quite a high mark is there. So as ever, we hope this video is useful for you guys. Usual starting point. What exactly are the details of the exam? 1 hour, 15 minutes, 75 minutes, 25 marks on offer. As we previously said, starting point for success is work out timing and manage your time in an examination. 3 questions to complete. As you can see from the calculation of the timings, the 17 marker is 51 out of the 75 minutes. So our advice A is start with a 17 mark question. If you make a mess of a 17 mark question, you are in trouble in this exam. So always take the hardest question first at the start of the exam when you're still fresh and you're still alive. We'll start looking at the 2 mark question first, and taking the specimen paper question here, that 2 marker. There's a model answer for you. So in terms of timing, remembering, as we said previously on a number of occasions, sorry for repeating this, but you guys have the problem that you're not allowed to have a watch with you on the table in front. So you have to keep on looking up at the clock. Now, 2 marks, literally, look at what we've got there. That is it. Okay, that's all you need. It's 1 plus 1. Use appropriate business management theory, 1 for describing the human need. Now, Maslow is the easy need to lock onto for identifying from the resource extracts they will give you in paper 3. But do not forget things like cognitive needs, mental health. Okay, mental health is a huge problem globally. Now, how could something aid mental health? You may not be able to specifically or very clearly link that to Maslow's hierarchy, but again, it's an equal weighted argument to make. Okay, it's a human need, mental health needs. So keep it simple, a 2 mark question. If you produce something like that, you got there 2 sentences, 3 at the most. But look at the precision of the communication. Think orally. If you want to try and maximize your marks, you have to remember the examiner is a functional idiot who knows nothing. So you have to orally explain to someone who knows nothing the answer to your question. So precision, quality of communication, not quantity of communication. Now, your 6 mark question. Equally, keep it simple. It is simple. You can maximize marks. It's 2 possible challenges, 6 marks. So examiner speak, that's 3 plus 3, or 3 times 2. It's 2 paragraphs, 3 mark per paragraph. If you just write 1 possible challenge and write half a page, you're still going to only score 3 maximum. Because think of it as 3 separate points, as it says there. 1 for identification, 1 for explanation, 1 for application. So the question is targeting assessment objective 1, knowledge, assessment objective 2, application analysis. So look at what we have there in terms of one of your 2 paragraphs. There is a statement. That statement is then explained, and that statement is actually explained and applied to the extracts. Now for question 1, the 2 marker, and the 6 mark question, you do not have to specifically reference this is from extract 1, resource 1, etc. Okay, obviously you have to select information, and you're not selecting multiple points. You are selecting key points from the extracts as evidence for your argument. So 2 short arguments, 2 short paragraphs. That is what 1 paragraph looks like. Produce a paragraph like that, that's 3 out of 3 straight away. Now, the problem we've found students are encountering is how to approach a 17 mark question. Lots of theories out there. Personally, treat it as an essay but think how you structured your IA. You need to focus on the quality of your arguments. Now, the reason for that, what we've actually seen, criterion A, you're marked according to these levels of response, A through to D. So understand what the examiner has in front of him or her and look at the highest mark, and they have that box. They have to be convinced you fall into that box. Now, criterion A is use of resource materials. Now, response makes reference to all resource materials provided to effectively support the recommended plan of action. Now, personally, our advice is 2 strategies. Okay, it's going to be linked back to sustainability for the next X number of years. So here's 2 strategies. Now you select pieces of evidence. You do not have to use every piece of evidence. Now look when you are constructing your arguments as you did for your IA, how you could roll together some of the evidence from the same extract stroke resource. It could be an argument for, and it could be an argument against, an implication of your strategy. Now, personally, you need to overtly, state where it comes from. So, resource 1 states, or you are using the piece of information, then you put in brackets, a bit of the way you reference things in IAs and EEs. It doesn't have to be Harvard or anything else, just brackets, reference 1, extract 1, where it comes from. Overtly show the examiner will be looking to score 4 out of 4 for criterion A. You've used material from every one of the resources. It doesn't mean every piece of information you have. Okay, but yes, as I say, complexity in terms of using evidence, you can use more than one piece of evidence to argue a point or argue a point and then basically balance your argument against it. So overtly reference, some way. It's reference of 1, extract 1 states, or put your argument in brackets, extract 1. Again, some confusion on business management tools and theories. Now, personally, the way you should be writing, when you are stating your strategy, one possible strategy, one plan of action for this business to ensure sustainability could adopt a differentiation strategy according to Porter. Now, that's a statement. Now, prove that statement. Show how differentiation works. Show how it then developed argument could be used to create a USP. Once you have a USP, you've got potentially the ability to charge, become PED inelastic in terms of your pricing strategy, maximize revenues, etc. Follow it through. Okay, so you're using your tools, your theories to develop your argument. Okay, so start with your statement, overtly state your tool, your technique at all points in time. Use business terminology. And it's making that statement and then it's constructing the argument and using the evidence to back up and balance your argument. Evidence for your arguments to justify the arguments. Now, criterion C, evaluation. You need to balance, I say 5 to 6 there, top grade boundary for this. Impact for their plan of action on the relevant areas of the business. Consider trade-offs between those areas. So here's the strategy, here's the evidence why it works. However, here's the consequences, here's the potential consequences, here's the possible trade-offs. If you're looking at Ansoff product development, Ansoff new market entry, where's the money coming from? Where's the sources of finance? There we go, there's a trade-off. They'd have to investigate. Look at the limitations of the information you're given in the extracts as part of your evaluation, your final conclusion. Go back at them and say, well, look, here's the strategy in your final conclusion. But before this goes ahead, possibly we need to investigate the gearing position, the liquidity position, as this may require them to take on extra debt, which means interest payments and potential impacts on cash flows. Again, balance your argument, final conclusion, make your recommendation. Here's the strategies. This would work. Why? Remember, always directly answer the question. To achieve sustainability over. However, before they go ahead, the information is limited we have. So therefore, we need to think about Yeah, so all point, think trade-offs, think balance your argument. State strategies, justify your strategies, select your evidence from the extracts, put the argument, balance the argument, look at the implications, look at the possible drawbacks, conclude, quick recommendation. However, we need this information to make a final judgment whether or not these strategies will work to achieve sustainability in the long term. Now, criterion D should be relatively straightforward. Again, think your extended essay, think your IA. It's sequencing. This should be an easy 3 out of 3. It's an argument. So state your strategy, justify your strategy, evidence to justify your strategy from the extracts, balance your arguments, okay, draw a conclusion, okay, look at the limitation. There we go, that's the sequence. So that should be an easy 3 out of 3. Now, just to finish off, here's our summary points for you guys to have a look at. And the last points I would make, this is not difficult. This is being made far more difficult than it actually is by students, and frankly, some of the teachers I've spoken to. Okay, look at the 17 marker, think about your IA, think about extended essay, and all this actually is, it's the same skills test, but on a smaller scale. It's putting together an argument, selecting appropriate piece of information to justify that argument, using a business tool, business techniques, using business terminology, okay, to put a balanced argument together, make a recommendation, and look at the limitation of that recommendation, and directly answer the question. Now, as ever, we hope this has been useful. It's taken us some time because obviously we're all IB teachers and life is fairly hectic at the moment to upload these videos. But we can see the hits are going up at all points in time. So obviously, thank you for that, guys, and hopefully again, we're helping you out for the exams.